y'all? You don't stop. Peace, peace. Welcome to another episode of Random Thoughts. I am your host, the LYR to the ICS's lyrics, y'all. Yo, it's another wonderful Sunday. We here. We alive. We blessed to see another day. You know what I'm saying? So why not start some fuckery, right? Cool. But before then, I just want to give a special RIP to former Celtics player and legendary basketball player Bill Russell, who passed away at the age of 88. I just recently got a tweet, I would say maybe 20, 30 minutes before we just started the show just now. So once again, my condolences to his family, friends, Celtics organization. I'm a big Boston Celtics fan, so rest in peace to Bill Russell. Gone but not forgotten, definitely. All right, so let's jump into it. You know what I'm saying? Right now it's just me and
Nope.
yeah, okay.
Nope.
And Eric holding it down.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So get with the introductions, y'all.
All right. What's going on, everyone? Y'all know me. It's Steph, y'all. We're back at it. Another Sunday, Random Thoughts. I'm happy to see y'all. Shout out to the Ranners Union. Everyone in the chat there. Everyone on Random Thoughts Talk series on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, because that's where we're going live. And it's just another beautiful day, y'all. I'm happy to see you, brothers.
Yeah, happy to see you too. Yo, Famous Ramos, what's good, man?
What's going on, man? Just made in the skip by the skin of my teeth.
let me also let me also add to it because we got a couple of rest in pieces going on. But I really respected Bill Russell. For those that don't know, Bill Russell has the most rings out of any player that has ever lived, that has ever played NBA. He has 11 rings. No one else has it. He has a ring as a player, and he has a ring as a player coach. Just a class act, man. The best to ever do it, and the first black player to ever play in the NBA. So shouts out to that man. He was amazing.
Yeah.
And also a rest in peace to my friend Mickey Angeline. Her mother Rusty just passed away from complications with COVID. So that's still happening, y'all. Be careful out here. And rest in peace to her mom, who meant a great deal to her. So shout out to Mickey Angeline and her family. Condolences to them. Sending healing and energy and prayers.
Yes, definitely rest in peace to them, man. I didn't even know that. Getting back to Bill Russell for a second, I didn't even know he had those many championship rings. That means he has more rings than Michael Jordan, and more rings than LeBron James, more rings than Kobe Bryant. Yep. More rings than your heroes. So we would like to say, Neener, fuck off. Nobody cares about Michael Jordan and LeBron James. And R.I.P. Kobe. R.I.P. Kobe. You know what I'm saying? But even him too, because I am and always will be a Celtics fan. So I
will say the only person that might get close is Steve Kerr. That's the only person that might have a shot.
No, we don't care about him neither. Sorry. Celtics, me in the building. Okay, who's it? Salute to the panel and chat. Glad to be here with you all this beautiful Sunday. That's from Brown Girl Interrupting. Brown Girl Interrupting, thank you very much. We appreciate
What's up,
you
Brown
being
Girl
here.
Interrupting.
Thank you for the support.
Female power repping, of course.
But hold on. Brown Girl Interrupting. Since it's a female power, bring your female power ass up in here and get down with the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, come on, man. Redemption Song 76.
How respectful.
Huh?
This guy, how respectful.
Salute all. No, I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, come on, man. Nah, for real. If anybody want to join, y'all already know. We got the Streamline link up, right? The StreamYard link?
Yeah, anyone that wants to join in the conversation, we're gonna put the StreamYard link in the comments. So let us know. or we'll have our producer in the background, plug you in. But we're gonna put the link in there for y'all at some point. All right.
Okay.
There we go. That StreamYard link is up. Anyone want to join in the conversation? We're ready.
She's female power momming right now. I got you. Well, I'm male power styling right now, man. Yo, but we still up on here, man. What's good? You know what I mean? Male power.
4 kids, man. That is power momming.
I'm just busting balls, man. Like, yo, don't worry about me, man. You know what I mean? But as always, we can't begin without me saying, let the fuckery commence.
Warning. The opinions expressed in this program are those of the presenter in their current state of mind, which they have the right to change at any given moment. The iRant Network and the members of the Ranters Union are not responsible for any claims made. All opinions and train of thoughts are welcomed here and protected by the First Amendment and the Ranters Union. All commentary, criticism, news reporting, research, teaching, and or scholarship of copyrighted material is protected by the Fair Use Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. iRant Network and the founder of the Ranters Union, Jalogic, aka Mr. M, recommends that you take what is said and do your own research. Read a goddamn book and form your own opinion. Furthermore, listen carefully to the ranters rant and debate their opinions and form your own conclusion. Thank you for watching this member-supported program, powered by the Ranters Union and produced for the iRant Network. Good day.
All right.
And as usual, you've been warned. So you bring your kids up here and think this is a kid-friendly show if your ass want to. I know that much. Like, you got the warning right there. So, okay. So today's episode is episode 3-6. Let's talk about cultural appropriation. Yep. Cultural appropriation. But before we talk about this, we want to give a big shout out to our friend, our colleague, Adviz, who's currently at a family celebration. We wish him and his family a happy celebration, and he'll be back with the fuckery with us next week. So shout out to our homeboy, A to the D to the V, Adviz, y'all.
The king of acronyms.
King of acronyms.
The god of acronyms. You have to dig him up, man.
The god of acronyms. There we go.
Oh, sorry about that. The god of acronyms.
The god MC of acronyms. There we go.
The god MC of acronyms. Yep. That's it, man. So, guys, we're here. Cultural appropriation.
Where do we want to start? Do we want to go back to the slave trade? Can we go back to minstrel shows?
We can go wherever you want to go with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been up. Can we go back to the Boston Tea Party? Let's go back to that.
Yeah, we can definitely go to blackface.
We've been going since the beginning.
But that appropriation was disrespect, outright disrespect.
Oh,
it was not meant. It was not meant to like appreciation of it on any regards or even like it. It was more like mockery. So
Benny has a question here for us. She said, what is considered cultural appropriation?
That's multifaceted. Go ahead, Steph.
Yeah. I guess the shortest answer I can give is just taking on the culture that's not yours, that you didn't grow up in, that you weren't immersed in, that wasn't a part of your fabric in your upbringing. That's the shortest answer I can give you.
Now
a good example of that, the Dave Chappelle show. Everybody knows Dave Chappelle show. Remember when he played the racist blind guy?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know he.
Clarence
yeah,
Bixby.
the racist KKK guy. Yeah, and he was talking.
Yeah.
Clarence Bixson, right? Yeah. So
Bixby.
that same. All right, you know I'm gonna fuck some people's names up, right?
Thing.
Like Clarence, but shit, it's the same name.
Close enough, Steph. Come on.
Close enough. No, Clarence Bixby. All right, cool. But yeah, the racist KKK black guy, like the guy that he didn't even know he was black. You know what I'm saying? But cultural appropriation is towards those lines, but also blackface as well. Famous drink your blood, orange juice on the rocks on mute, please.
Oh, okay. It's actually tea, but all right.
Oh my god, man.
We can talk about this cultural appropriation too. This Latino guy, taking on the form of a vampire. Yeah, we can talk about that. No, I'm kidding, man.
You're gonna disrespect right now. We're gonna go into fake disrespect. I'm gonna
be honest with you. You know what I also see cultural appropriation as? Like when you're at
what?
A job interview and you have to like switch it up in order to get the job. You know what I'm talking? We talked about. I think it was a code switching.
That's more code switching. I don't know if that's necessarily cultural appropriation though.
No, but I'm saying it seems like it's towards those lines in a sense because you're trying to. All right. How is it not?
It's more about survival, and that it's more about survival or trying to adapt to a situation. I feel this is my definition of culture situation, kind of what culture appropriation, kind of what Steph says. For example, somebody kind of like how we did in the flyer, right? Somebody who wears other people's cultural garments, right? But in my opinion, if it's disrespect, it is not used in reverence. That's where I find problem with.
Right.
Is culture appropriation regardless if you wear it? It's on the person in the culture. They have the right to kind of put their markers where what's appropriate and what's not. So, for example, if a white person goes to an Indian wedding, I was talking this with somebody, right? Like they're appropriating their culture, but the people in their culture is saying, "Yeah, we want you to wear this because you're in a situation where it's appropriate for you to be dressed in this way because we're all dressed like that." So, the issue is where do we draw the line in terms of what's appropriate and what's not? We allow, for example, hip hop is a culture, right? And they allow what specifically white people to be part of that culture and to dress in such way that's like considered part of that culture. So who decides and where the lines are drawn and where, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly. It depends on what culture is being affected at the end of the day. I think that's where the line is drawn. When that culture looks at that person taking on their customs and clothing and whatnot, and they say, we're not. If they react to it negatively, then that's where the line is drawn. Like if they feel as if their culture is being disrespected by that person, and that person means to disrespect them, I think the line is drawn right there.
Brown Girl interrupted. She has a comment here. She said, "It's the disrespect element that makes it appropriation, right? When you borrow it, like it's a costume to wear, and not someone's depth of identity." I mean, You got a point there, but let's take it to the NFL, right? Let's see if this is cultural appropriation, like the Redskins. Like motherfuckers was in an uproar, like out of nowhere. Oh, the Redskins is too disrespectful. You're talking about the Indians. Oh my goodness, you shouldn't.
No, that's the Redskins. That's always been an issue. The Redskins have been around.
Yeah, but the thing is,
1930s. I think 1934. I think is when the Redskins started. I know it's in the mid 30s for sure, but that's always been an issue. It's just the
but why did they change it now all of a sudden? Like why now?
Because the sound is louder now. Now there's more platforms for the outrage to be amplified. So not only is it now on the streets, it's on Twitter, it's on Instagram, it's on Facebook, it's on TikTok, it's everywhere, so it's amplified, and now more voices are being heard and saying, "Hey, we don't like this. We don't like this term. We don't like the name for this football team." So because of the pressure mounting, the change was made. They were losing money.
And on top of it, you look at the caricature on the actual where the Braves has one, the Washington Redskins not so much, but the Braves, the baseball team, right? The characters
also
make
the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah,
the
character seems like an almost minstrel-like character. Think about it. The features are very pronounced. It's cartoonish. But that's what I'm trying to say. The disrespect, but like that's appropriation. It's almost like a mockery, right? You're taking somebody and making what their culture and saying, oh, they're a cartoon character. You know what I mean? That's what you're chopping up to, like their culture as being a cartoon character or a mascot, right? So that becomes a problem, and it's been a problem. I agree with what Steph has been a problem. It's just that people now won't shut up about it. They won't be shut down about it. So they had to change it. They had no choice, and we're gonna see that going online in a lot of things.
You're talking about a culture that is, we don't want to necessarily say it, but the culture's dying. And football itself, let's talk about football itself. Football itself is an appropriated culture because football came from the Native Americans.
Pretty much every sport. Baseball came from the Native. Basketball came from the Native Americans. Like all these cultures just adapted games that you made them into current games. They modernized them or adapted them, whatever.
Honestly, not all sports.
Majority.
Right, most of them.
Majority. Yeah.
A majority of them did come from the Indians, and some of them actually came from from African culture.
We got to be careful with the Indian thing. Native American, my friend.
Sorry. The Indian thing, whatever. What?
I said the First Nation.
All right, the First Nation. I'll go with that.
Original man of this land.
I'm not even gonna go with you on that one. Anyway, Redemption Song 76 says appropriation can also be tastefully done without proper attribution to the culture. Spark of a new trend, leaving the originators uncredited.
Right.
What do you guys think about that?
It can happen that way.
I think overall it's all appropriation. Now, with the problem is if it's respectful or not. If I decide to wear an African garb, right? It's appropriation because I'm not that well. That's a little more complicated because forget. All right, if I'm gonna wear a Chinese garb, all right, and I rock it, and then someone has a problem because one person can say, "Oh, I'm cool with this," right? And then other people here can say, "Oh, I have a problem with that." That's not your culture. And I could be wearing what I feel is respectful. I'm saying, oh, I'm giving right credit. I'm saying this is why I'm wearing this, whatever. Someone always can have an issue, right? So the lines could be drawn in different places. So what point, do you not wear it at all because you're like, nah, because someone's gonna have issue? Or do you try to you say, I'm gonna try to be the most respectful I can in this situation?
I was it's funny when this topic came up, one of the first things I thought about was I actually started thinking about Gwen Stefani when she went solo, and her first solo album came out, and she was taking on the style of the Harajuku of Japan, that trend that was going on at the time where it was like they were wearing they were mashing up different styles and different fashion trends and just coming up with their own kind of culture. It was just kind of like a freestyle of styles, but she was putting a spotlight on Harajuku, and at the same time also she had two Japanese girls that were with her that that were representing the culture. To me, I was like, am I okay with this or am I not? I felt like she was trying her best to not disrespect the culture, but at the same time I was like, but you had these two Japanese girls, and
but Steph,
Miley Cyrus. Look what
you have to take into consideration. What you have to take into sorry guys, but what you have to take into consideration when you're in the music industry. Sometimes, let's be realistic now. Sometimes the director or your label or whoever got certain say over you when it comes to certain things within your video. You know, especially the director, certain images. So, especially when you're when you're to a label, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of gotta. I'm not gonna say excuse it, but you kind of gotta understand for what it is. Gwen Stefani probably felt like it was awkward as shit. Like, yo, like, damn, man, am I disrespecting the Asian culture, Japanese culture for doing this? But guess what? The record labels don't give two fucks about cultural appropriation. They care about making that money. You know what I'm saying? It's about what's going to be eye catching to the public.
In that situation, I think it's like it was more of an image thing because, all right, I remember when that happened, right? And she was touring with them, and she was like basically almost they were part of her group. That wasn't already a group. It was an overall image for her album. Yeah, after No Doubt.
No, this was the single. This
No Doubt. This is like after Spike Jonze. Spike Jonze directed that music video. I think it was the last song they did for as a group before she went solo, and then she had the Harajuku girl. I remember that. Who also did this? Miley Cyrus. Think about that one. How do you feel about that one? Because mad people were actually talking about that when it happened. She had these people in the background who were African American specifically, and they were dancing in a certain way, and people were saying, "Oh, I have issue with this." The way that she's appropriating the coach, almost like their background to her. You know what I mean? Like in a way, they're like she's using as props, and that was the question on the argument.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes to Miley Cyrus, I think she's a culture vulture.
All right, yeah, you have your.
I have no straight out what it is. I think she's a culture vulture.
Yeah, so in that respect, you have issue with that. But for example, someone might have issue with Gwen Stefani because in a way they can consider her a culture vulture as well for their culture. But for them, you know what I mean? Like it depends on who's viewing it and who's being affected by it.
Right.
It gets complicated.
You're 100% right on that.
I'm trying to bring up this slide of I found a picture of Katy Perry, who's another. don't even get me started.
All they have to do is apologize. They're good. They're good.
Oh, Katy
Perry.
Lord have mercy. Oh, I think it's
Katy Perry.
Here. Yes.
What did she do?
Miss I Kissed the Girl.
Oh, the Egyptian thing. You talk about the Egyptian.
Egyptian thing. She's dressed as a what do you call it? In Japanese garb. I don't know why I can't think of the name right now. But
a geisha.
Yes, geisha. Yes, she dressed as a geisha girl and.
Hey Tiffany, what's going on? Tiffany, I saw you saying
in one of her videos. Like that was a slight controversy at some point. Yeah, it's a lot. Katie, as much as I do like I love her music, but yeah, some things she does little problematic.
Well, no, like first of all, you can't really blame Katy Perry for it unless Katy Perry was like I said, unless Katy Perry was an independent artist and she called the shot to do it. You have to understand the industry has a lot.
I agree with you, but at a certain point, they have voice in it because if they become a big enough player in the industry, they have a voice to say, "Oh, I'm comfortable with this or not." Maybe in the beginning, they're like, "Oh, I got to do what the label tells me to do." But when you get to like a point when you're selling platinum, they're gonna have to take your voice into account to a certain degree.
I mean, yeah, but see, you just said it to a certain degree. Now, all right, Katie probably who knows? We weren't there at the video shoot.
You're right.
So like the only thing we're doing is speculating. Yeah. So, but I'm going to assume, and I hate assumptions, but I'm going to assume that Katie didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Let's just do this. So I get my money, I go home. You know what I'm saying? Or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I think she's another culture vulture. You know what I'm saying? Me personally. You know, but
yeah, I agree, Benny. Benny says, I think when white people take elements of other cultures, that's when people have a problem.
Majority of time, yes.
I agree with that. Yeah,
That's
in
a fact.
many
I
cases,
agree with
yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
John Logic said, "Come to think of it, America is literally a culture of cultural appropriation." Damn,
Yeah.
Our cuisine, or look at all our cuisine. Every cuisine we
that's
have
a
in this
powerful
culture is
state.
everything.
Everything.
There's nothing
Yo,
original. America
Eric,
is a remix.
Yeah.
Think about
Eric,
that.
this is a very powerful statement he just made. I'll say this
I agree.
again. Come to think of it, America is literally a culture of cultural appropriation. Yo, I agree with that 1,000,000%, man. Yo, Ja, good looking on that, man. Like,
of course it is.
like you just woke my
Because
eyes up to some shit on that, man. Like,
well,
it is.
because this country didn't have a culture to begin with. Like at least when the forefathers, and I say that in quotations, for those that are going to listen to this in audio, yeah, when the forefathers came to this country, they didn't have a country, they didn't have a culture to begin with. They had to make up one as they went along. So they just pulled from the people that they enslaved, pretty much. I mean, all the food that we eat, just about, comes from some other culture. I mean, we talk about it, it's interesting. Like, what comes to mind is like Trevor Noah when he was talking about people living in the U.S. and being racist. And they'll say something racist, and all of a sudden they'll be like, "Hey fellas, it's Taco Tuesday, woo!" like you just said something racist, and then at the same time you bringing up another culture's food. So it's like,
tacos are tasty though. I agree with them though, even though they're racist. I agree that tacos are tasty.
Well, wait, hold on.
Americans love tacos. Love tacos.
I have a question about tacos,
yeah.
And this is serious. I heard from somebody else. I actually heard from a Mexican person, a person that's originally from. It's not Mexico City. From I think Cancun or whatever.
Okay.
Like,
I was gonna say
the outskirts. This person I used to work with, like maybe a job or two ago. But anyway, we were having a conversation about Mexican cuisines because he was a chef, while I was working. And he was like, yo, tacos. He's like, yo, you Americans, man, y'all love tacos. Y'all keep talking this shit about taco this, taco that. Taco is not an original Mexican dish. I said, what? Like, he was like,
so
yeah, it's like, all that time. I don't know. Like, I think it's
technically it's not. However, it was created by Mexican Americans, so it's still Mexican.
That's the thing.
Taco, the hard taco you're talking about, or the tortilla? The tortilla is Mexican.
No, taco period.
No, the hard taco maybe. The hard taco that they have like and you buy in the supermarket and it's already made. That one specifically, yeah. But the tortillas, those are traditional native Mexican food.
Right. The taco.
There's a good Netflix show, Taco Chronicles, I think it's called. It's really good. It shows how different cultures have kind of contributed to it. There's one they were talking about how I think tacos de pastor, but basically is the Turkish people that immigrated there. They adapted their the shawarma thing, the way they do a shawarma, and they cut it, and they showed you the whole show. There's 2 seasons. So anybody interested in learning about that culture, specifically their food, cuisine, tacos, check out Taco Chronicles on Netflix. It's a really good series.
I'm gonna check that out.
Well, we're gonna be talking about exotic foods next week.
We're gonna talk about different cultures next week. So make sure you all tune in. And that shameless plug right here. I think you know what? I think tacos go in the way of like pizza, or even like in the UK,
sriracha.
Sriracha, right? And also, in the UK, their national dish is chicken tikka masala, and we know Indians, Southeast Asians created that dish. However, that is the national dish of the United Kingdom.
Apparently, it's not. Tikka masala is I think it's one specific dish. Is actually, I was having a conversation with any person, and they said that's actually created by, or am I wrong about that? I have to look into that. There's something
either or. It's appropriated.
What,
Like
shawarma?
it's like adaptation. I think it's adaptation of Indian food, and they kind of changed it. Let me check this out. I want to be sure of this. What are you in the conversation?
Regardless, it's still an appropriation of a culture. Just like pizza is an appropriation of a culture, just like burgers are an appropriation of a culture.
And hot dogs,
yeah. You name it. Like
what's up, man?
Johnny cakes, which in the South are called hoe cakes, an appropriation of enslaved Africans creating food out of the scraps that they had, like fried chicken. We can. The list goes on.
Don't even start on fried chicken. Don't do that. Don't start. You're gonna get me hungry and shit.
Fried chicken.
Like,
it is Indian. Chicken. It is Indian, but I'll have to confirm that. Right. No, that's Korean. I'm just fucking with you, man.
It's Korean. No, it's black.
Yeah, it is. You know what's funny? That's another thing I was having. I saw the show, and they were talking about how like Korean fried chicken is the best chicken. And this woman this guy said, "Oh, you know that the GIs when they went to Korea, they taught the Korean people how to make fried chicken."
Oh, that clip is
yeah. I was like, oh shit, he schooled her.
Blame that chick. Oh my god, that was kind of embarrassing.
Wait, hold on. Hey, yo, Chris Jones. Yo, we got a comment from Chris Jones. Chris Jones says chicken is the devil. We got ourselves here a vegan,
and I'm a sinner.
Vegetarian.
Okay, I sin.
Now I want to say this. I'm gonna address this comment right here. You want to talk about chicken is the devil? Chicken fed our families after slavery was over. Chicken and watermelon. Now, granted, I don't eat watermelon. However, I respect the fact that our families survived and thrived off of those foods. They saved our lives literally after the Civil War and after the Emancipation Proclamation was put into place. So you want to say chicken is the devil? Fine, whatever.
You're not wrong about that. Chicken.
Understand its history and its importance in our culture.
Pig intestines.
Wait, right. Chicken and beef also got a comment that says so did pig ass.
Yeah,
and chicken gives it both.
Yeah, I'm not gonna disrespect it either. If you like the swine, that's fine. Rapper.
As long as you know you're eating that butthole, that chicken butthole. I mean that pork butthole. As long as you know you're eating it.
Yes, Korean fried chicken is fire. Love it.
Yeah. Soy garlic. Holy hell. Benny has a comment here. How did chicken tikka is appropriation of culture? Wait.
Because UK made it a dish.
Is appropriation of culture.
As I explained earlier. Yes, the UK made it a national dish. That is an appropriation of culture. That is not the original culture.
Wow.
You know what?
Chicken in the UK when it's not clean and seasoned properly.
You know, Turkish food. Wow. Turkish food is really big there too. They don't like their food. The only thing they have is fish and chips, and everything else is like bland and fucking as hell. When I went there, that's the only thing I ate. Turkish food, because everything else tastes terrible.
Yeah,
and brown sauce is good.
And this is why I pointed out Trevor Noah in his joke. He said in his joke too, he was like, if you live in the United States or anywhere else and you don't like, and you're a racist and you don't like other cultures, you should not be allowed to eat any food in this country except potatoes.
And that's flavor. You mean it has flavor? You're not allowed to eat it anymore. No, your potatoes and your duck, whatever that they eat, duck necks or duck gizzards, whatever they eat that shit.
No, not even that. Just potatoes, no spice.
Hey, yo, Ramos. You just said that when you went to England.
Yeah.
You said when you went to England, right? The food was bland instead of what was it? Fish and chips, and the only thing you ate was
I ate Turkish the fish and chips. They were okay. Turkish food mostly like shawarma shit.
No, but what part of were you in London?
Yeah, I went to London.
All right, so boom, in the hood, London in the hood, they have Jamaican food, right? You have to know this.
But I didn't go in the outskirts. I didn't go to the outskirts. I went there for like a week and a half.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. But I had that brown sauce.
You gotta remember this.
Shout out to brown sauce.
No, but what I'm saying is there's Jamaican and African, these people of Jamaican and African descent that live in certain parts of London and all that, and even in the outskirts. So when you said that, I was like, wait, hold on a second.
Yeah,
nah, son, they gotta have food with them.
No, they do, but I didn't go to the outskirts. So the thing in central London that I was staying, I was mostly those kind of things.
Oh,
yeah. I'm pretty sure if I looked hard enough, I would have found it.
Okay.
I went to London one time. I went to was it Brixton?
Like,
I went to the hood.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you went to Brixton. Yeah.
Yeah, because one of my mans in them, like he out there shit or whatever have you. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, I tried so hard not to laugh at at the way they were speaking and shit. You know what I'm saying? But like they knew I was cool, so you know what I'm saying. They tried to give me some smoke. You know what I'm saying? I ain't smoke at the time. So
what's that accent? That East London accent? It's not Cockney, right? It's what's it called? It's where the people. I think East London. What you're talking about? I like their accent. That's like the hood. People from the hood. The way they talk is different completely from a proper English accent, a British accent.
Well, no, they have a Jamaican patois mixed with the English dialect.
There's some African in there too.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
There's some African in there.
Like Idris Elba, the way Idris Elba talks.
Yeah, there is African. You're right.
Like Idris Elba talks a specific way. I think that's East London. I'm not correct. That's the accent I'm talking about.
You should look.
No, and I'm saying you're correct. You're correct.
Okay.
That's around the Brixton. That's around Brixton area and all that. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's the hood. Yo, shout out to Brixton. Shout out to the hood. You know, shout out to the cast, the Top Boy. You know what I'm saying, man? I'm waiting for the 5th season. Yeah, that shit gangster.
Shout out. Go ahead.
Also, shout out to my homie Funky DL. What up, homie?
Yeah, shout out to Funky DL. You right too. Like, yeah, for real. Chicken and Beef said the hood English accent brings Ramos to the yard. They accent better than yours.
Really?
I also wanted to address some of these comments that are coming up here. I know Benny was talking about chicken tikka masala and saying that it was created in Britain and not in India. That doesn't take away from the fact that it's an appropriated dish. There were Indians that made it. They are not original to the UK and Britain. That's not their culture. That's not the original culture. Like the
shout out to Little Sims, by the way, from Top Boy. Little Sims.
That's what makes it appropriate.
Dope rapper.
Shout out to Little Sims.
Little Sims. Dope rapper.
No, Little Sims, not Sims. Little Sims.
No, I said Little Sims. I said Little Tibbs. Are you wild?
Tibbs?
No, you said Tims. We said Little Sims.
No, I said Sims.
Who said Sims? Me or him?
You said Little Sims.
Yeah,
I knew
that. I said Sims too. You wildin'. Anyway, yo, John said Chinese food is not Chinese food for your information. You know what?
Settle and play back.
You know what? You're 100% right, and that's also part of cultural appropriation, which is the food in the sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
is that adapted for American taste buds? Because, and one thing, never go to France, eat their Chinese food.
No, hold on. Well, no. In Harlem, there's a soul food restaurant in Harlem on 135th. I think it's 134th or whatever. It's a soul food restaurant, right? But it was owned by Chinese people. I didn't know it was owned by Chinese people until it was after my grandmother's funeral or whatever. Like my family, we went in there. Food was good, but like the chicken wings, right? It had a certain taste to it. And like for any fat motherfucker that knows chicken, like me, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a certain way how a chicken is seasoned. You dig? Like I'm being honest here. Black people, we season chicken completely different than how Chinese people season fried chicken. You know what I'm saying? You can taste it. If you really, and I was like, wait, hold on a second. This ain't, I was like, yo, this is like Chinese fried chicken right here, B. Like, you know, like for the chicken wings that you get at the Chinese food spot. That's when I found out that it was a Chinese family that bought that soul food restaurant. I mean, the rest of the food was still good or whatever have you, but it was like it just didn't have that soul food taste to it. You feel me?
Let me ask you a question. Right. There's this restaurant in Manhattan somewhere. It's the Cuban restaurant, and it's owned by Chinese people. But these people are from Cuba. These Chinese people are from Cuba. They're generations.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question: is that culture appropriation? Had that an issue of these people basically they were born into that culture and then brought it over here, but they're basically generations of themselves growing up in Cuba, and they speak more Spanish than anybody.
No. In that situation, I would say no because they grew up in that culture.
You're right.
That is part of who they are. So I would not call that cultural appropriation because they're actually, and if someone considers it cultural appropriation, it's done in a light that's it's done in a light that's positive. It's not done in a way where it downplays or disrespects the culture.
But the thing is, that's why I kind of differ in your definition. I feel it's all cultural appropriation. Now what I feel is it respectful? Because it's not your culture you're appropriating. I'm not talking in this specific case. I'm talking about in general. If you're being respectful or just being disrespectful, I feel it's appropriation. If you're not part of that culture.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. We're actually in agreement. I didn't say that it wasn't cultural appropriation. Cultural appropriation can be, and this is the answer Benny's question too, because she asked if it was bad or good. I think it depends on the intent of the person taking on that particular culture. I think if they mean to highlight it and put it in a positive light, then it's still appropriation. However, it's done in a respectful and tasteful way. Whereas you have the other side where someone does it to mock or disrespect the culture. That's a bad version of cultural appropriation. It just depends on the intent of the person presenting that culture. I want to actually talk about the Chinese cuisine too, because of course I live in the DMV, and you know what the Chinese restaurants over here have taken on. Mumbo sauce. Mumbo sauce is definitely cultural appropriation. It was a black family that created mumbo sauce. It was not the Chinese restaurants that created them. It was actually after the restaurant that created mumbo sauce went out of business. It was actually a secret recipe, and after that restaurant went out of business, all the Chinese restaurants wanted to figure out the recipe. So they made their own version of mumbo sauce. So that's why that's cultural appropriation.
Well, if you're going to go that way, the Italian food is appropriation of Chinese food. All right? Well, at least noodles. There'll be no noodles.
Don't tell no Italian person that, man. Like, they ain't going for that shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
they brought it back from China.
Yes, mumbo sauce is indeed the shit. Yes.
Mumbo sauce is the shit. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah. Like,
is it mumbo or mambo?
It's both mumbo and mambo. It depends on how you where you come
from. Tiffany did comment that she was like, I was talking about Copeland's when I was talking about that restaurant. No, it's not Copeland's. It's not Copeland's. Copeland's shut down a while ago. I'm talking. This restaurant is still up to this day. You know, matter of fact, I was just by there 2 days ago. You know what I'm saying? That the restaurant is still there. I forgot what's called. It does say Soul Food. It's like it's by Harlem Hospital, around that vicinity. You know, but Copeland's. I remember my dad. He took me to Copeland's years ago when I was a kid. Like, Copeland's shut down a while ago. You know what I mean? Chicken and Beef said, is Rachel Dolezal's OnlyFans cultural appropriation of the thought culture?
Is that real?
Wow.
Is that real?
And shouts to our viewers on Twitch. Actually, we actually broke down what cultural appropriation is and was earlier in the show. So if you want to watch the replay, by all means, watch the replay, because we broke it down earlier. But we appreciate you watching us for sure.
Thank you to Twitch. Appreciate Twitch. Appreciate YouTube. Anybody we watch the recaps on Instagram.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate all of you guys. Trust me, like the love is still real. There, it's still appreciated. Like, you know what I'm saying? We ain't nothing without y'all. And that's real shit. You know what I mean? Outsiders call it mambo.
Yes,
yeah.
we call it yes,
mambo. Yeah, well, I'm an outsider. I call it mambo.
I call it,
like
mumbo. So it's mumbo with a U, more of a U.
Well, us is mumbo, but yeah, if it could go either way. We know what you're talking about, regardless.
It doesn't matter. You guys are gonna know I'm from there anyway from my accent, so I could call it whatever I want.
Benny said, "Why does the word cultural appropriation have a negative tone to it?"
Because people
I was wondering that myself,
seen in a negative light. Because the examples that we have are usually seen in a negative light. Yeah, that's what it is. Like the majority of the examples that are out there are not seen positively. So I think that's why.
And plus, this is Randumb Thoughtz. We bring the fuckery here, so we kind of, push the negative agenda to that word cultural appropriation. And, we just want to see somebody, just get a kick out of that shit and try to come at us or some fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just being honest with you.
We're sparking conversation.
We're trying to play the role of the villains. What?
Yeah.
I thought we were sparking dialogue.
Yes, we are sparking dialogue.
Yeah, we are. I mean, but sometimes you got to play the villain to spark up a dialogue. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out. Scarred his face, came back, took over the world.
Yeah.
Yo, R.I.P. Eric Killmonger. That's all I gotta say, man. Killmonger was the best.
I was talking about MF Doom. You said Killmonger? Okay.
Yeah, Killmonger, I fuck with him. Like, that's my man's. Cultural appropriation is the inappropriate or acknowledged adoption of an element or elements of one's culture or race by members of another culture or race. But that right there, my friends, is the definition of cultural appropriation, or something that is derogatory towards one culture or race. This can be controversial when members of a dominant culture appropriate from minority cultures.
Minority
cultures. Sorry about that. I try to sound real smart and shit.
The last part I want to talk about because, all right, and it's true. We people tend to focus on the majority here. I'm going to say the majority of people in this country appropriating other things, and have less issue with people, minorities appropriating other minority cultures. And I know the reason why that is, because if you're being oppressed, then you're going to try to, any point try to go after your oppressor, right? But the question is still, especially if you're being painted in a negative light by the appropriation. My point is that either for whatever reason, it's still appropriation. Now it's up to the person in the culture to say if it's okay, but that gets complicated if parts of I'm just recapping what I said before. It's just going around in a circle. But go ahead.
Yeah, let's actually talk about that too. Minorities taking on other minorities cultures. When you mentioned that, immediately what came to mind was, where Asians taking on breakdancing.
Wu-Tang taking on Chinese culture.
That we call it about that too. Yeah, of course.
But it's appropriation.
It is appropriation.
That's cultural appropriation in a good way, man. Because they're kind of paying homage to the Chinese culture that that gave them their style to it. You know what I'm saying? So at least that's how I see it.
I agree. I think majority of people with Chinese that I've known, that I've talked to them, I've seen in media, I see it in a positive light, because what they're doing is putting a part of the culture up there that nobody or people might have not before them been aware of. And let's be honest, old school kung fu flicks are cool as shit. Even like, you know what I mean? Like, it is true. Like, the gold style, whatever you want to call it, drunken style, Killer Priest, what other movies? You can keep going on in the movies, but you know what I mean? Like,
right.
That's cool.
Five Deadly Venoms.
Five Deadly Venoms. Return of 5 Deadly Venoms. Gold. The man with the one-armed swordsman. Yeah. Ghostface Killer Returns,
Drunken Master, yeah.
What else?
Ip Man, yeah.
Wu-Tang versus Shaolin.
Right. Yeah, a lot of us grew up on like Kung Fu theater, and you know, we went to the movie theaters when they were playing, you know, all those Chinese productions and whatnot, and we loved it. I think it's appropriation. I don't think it's negative. Like you said, I think it's paying homage to the culture, which, you know, to Chicken and Beef and Jai Logic's definition, I don't think it necessarily has to be negative. I think, like I said, majority of the time it is, you know, the appropriation is looked at negatively. I don't necessarily think that it's always negative though. Like I said, you know, even with Asians, you know, taking on breakdancing, I think they've stepped up, you know, the culture itself of breakdancing. I think they've taken it to
even the Koreans right now are really killing it in hip hop style of dancing. You see them on all the videos on YouTube. Like they have whole schools of them, and they, like, you know, break it down. They're doing, you know, videos of it, and if they're pushing it for where I feel they're pushing forward the culture in a good way. It's like your throwback, right? It's like someone throws you a ball and you throw it back. And if they're giving you something of value that you can throw back at them again and continue, you know, evolving it, I personally find it beautiful. I find it to be a great thing, a positive thing in a positive light.
Yeah, I mean, even hip hop.
Well,
like, I mean that's been appropriated so much, and certain cultures have you know, given it the respect that it deserves, and they've actually changed it and evolved it in certain ways that have you know, given even more reverence to the culture, and we know there are other folks that have, you know, literally taking the shat on it. So
shout out to Nujabes, rest in peace.
Yeah, shout out to
Nujabes.
Yeah,
Shout
the father of lo-fi music.
Yeah, also
before
that's a fact. I mean, honestly, I think Jay Dilla is the father of lo-fi music, man. But that's my personal.
That could be argued. I think that could be argued, but I think Nujabes predated.
It's more Nujabes.
What?
It's more Nujabes.
It's more Nujabes?
Yeah.
Well, that could be debated on. I'm be honest with you, but the rest in peace, Nujabes.
I'm telling you, he has a very strong argument regarding that. If you listen to Nujabes's, you know, music, a lot of the elements of it come from what he's done, and that it isn't considered.
No, and I'm not questioning,
because that was.
I'm not questioning it.
Yeah,
I'm not questioning it. Like, no, you're 100% right on that part. But, you know, like, wasn't Jay Dilla doing that just about the same time, or like a little beforehand?
His style was still different because he had a soul element to it. He had a soul, jazz, blues element that was a little different. Like I would say he is a pioneer of certain other styles, like the way he would program his drums, the swing style. Like he definitely is a pioneer of that. Like that Philly sound that came out, that Philly hip hop style that came out, that was definitely Jay Dilla's influence. But I think
it's talking about the Slum Village era. The Slum Village era.
Yeah, the Slum Village era. When
Dirty Dozen, J88,
Roots, I guess Roots could be a part of that too. The Roots as well.
Yeah.
Like I said, it could be debated. Like, I mean, yeah, you're right. Like Nujabes would have a strong argument, but still, like, but anyway, getting back to the subject here, man. I was trying to read some of these comments, man, but damn, son, like you just come and switch it up. But anyway, we're gonna get back to the comments, y'all. We're gonna try to read as many comments as possible. Here we go, Benny.
Well, I do want to. Shampy mentioned like the Kardashians. Do we want to get into that?
Hold on. Benny said, I think people see it being done negatively when white people do, but if someone of color does it, it's not seen in a negative way, because we don't mean for it to be in a negative way. We mean to honor. Not saying that white people don't, you know what I'm saying? But you could tell with our intentions that we mean to more so honor that culture than than just piss on it or disrespect it.
Right.
I think there are more occasions where people honor each other, but there have been occasions, of course. There's always going to be occasions when people disrespect each other. But I think in the majority in the media, minorities tend to honor each other more so than, for example, a white girl going to Coachella dressed as a brave or a chief or whatever have you. You know what I mean? Just wearing it as like it's a outfit or a costume, something to be like almost mockery. That's the problem I think people have, the mockery aspect of it. You're not respecting, because that has cultural significance in ceremonies and other things. You know what I mean? Part of their whole being. And if you just wearing it casually like that to go watch a concert and to drink your ass off, you're showing disrespect.
Right.
That's a fact.
Exactly.
That's definitely like, for instance, also another example of cultural appropriation, professional wrestling. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm a big time wrestling fan. There's some wrestlers that, I don't know if they're, because of the quote unquote scripted part of it or whatever, you see some of them disrespecting other people's cultures. Like I remember it was one time when a certain black wrestler, he went to bow, and it's a certain way that you bow. Like when you bow to, in Japanese culture, when you bow, you know what I'm saying, you're supposed to have direct eye contact with that person you're bowing to. You know what I'm saying? From when I understand, that's a formal bow.
Yeah,
this motherfucker puts his hands. Exactly. He puts his hands together like this and bows with his head down. I'm like, I just feel like slapping him in the back of his head. Like, yo, I love Japanese culture.
That might be different because different cultures have different way of bowing. Like Chinese culture is going to die different than Chinese. So I'm not sure. I'm not 100% on that. But I know Korean.
Well, no, I'm 100% on that when it came to that particular professional wrestler.
Okay.
I know that was being disrespectful because he was wrestling a Japanese wrestler. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, got you.
Yeah, so it was basically like he basically took his wang out and just pissed on his whole culture in the middle of the ring. Like,
so
I don't.
Did he lose? Did he lose?
What happened?
Did he lose?
This match was a long time ago, so I can't remember that shit. But like I do remember that
didn't help the story. I need to know if
he was playing the heel though, right? He was probably playing the heel.
He was playing the heel, yes.
Oh, so that's why he was doing what he was doing. I mean, I'm not saying to say, oh, it's okay. I'm just saying in that specific situation, he was playing the heel.
All right, another example. R.I.P. New Jack, by the way. The Gangsters. For those who don't know, like the Gangsters, before they were in ECW, they were in what was it, Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and they were the heels. You know what I'm saying? And the redneck tag team, I forgot their name. They were supposed to be the heroes because in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, in that part of Georgia, it was predominantly white. You know what I'm saying? Redneck country area, whatever. Shout out to the rednecks, no diss. I'm just making this as a point. And I remember New Jack, he was like, yo, shout out to my boy OJ Simpson. And this is during the time when OJ was dealing with the case, with the death of his wife and all that other stuff. The glove don't fit, you must have quit, all that shit. So like that was kind of I'll put it to you this way. Like when he said that, I remember he was telling stories about how they almost got killed by the fans. You know what I'm saying? Crossing that line, but it worked. You know what I'm saying? For the storyline itself, it worked, and they got major heat from it because they were playing the role of the villains. But you see how cultural appropriation plays in that. Like they almost literally got killed by them by these fans. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So like when it comes to cultural appropriation,
yeah.
Oh, what's good? No.
Oh yeah, what's good? What's good?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh man, look who it is.
Yeah.
Hello.
Coming in the fourth inning.
Say hi to your lady, bro.
I scared my girls. I left my laptop.
Hi, girlfriend.
Everybody said hi. I scared my girls. I left my laptop on. And she thought somebody was in the house, but it was y'all niggas talking.
Oh man.
She's
Benny
now.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Meet you.
Y'all scared the
Hey. Oh no, we do that sometimes, man. Like we bring the fuckery, so that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? We scared the fuck out of people with our fuckery. You know what I'm saying? So
I was like, oh shit, I gotta fuck somebody else today.
Nah, we love you. We love you.
Wow. It's all love though, man. Like, yo, we glad that, we glad to see y'all, out and about or whatever, you know what I'm saying, doing y'all thing. You know what I mean? So
can we read this comment from Benny?
Yeah, sure. Benny, I'm Indian. I'm okay with people wearing bindi and Indian outfits, but my boyfriend, who is not Indian, feels a certain way if he sees a white guy wearing an Indian outfit. I find it extremely ridiculous.
No,
I think that man is extremely intelligent. I find that man very intelligent, and he's very poignant.
Can we say who her boyfriend is? Is that okay? Can we say that?
I think we should church of separation, church and state right here. But he's very intelligent. That man. I think I'd like to meet him. I like to shake his hand. I like to honor him every way.
Yo, y'all stupid. I ain't fucking with you, man. Like, yo, so, like Tiffany said, we family now. LOL. Benny said, oh, sorry, not Benny.
No, Chicken and Beef.
Damn, Chicken and Beef said, Benny. He said, Benny, you don't speak for your whole culture, though, respectfully. Wow. Okay.
I think he definitely meant that respectfully. I'm saying I get where you stand, Benny. If you're not offended by it, by all means, you're not. Your boyfriend, being offended for the culture itself, I mean, can't say he's wrong. I mean, everyone's entitled to their perspective and their opinion on the situation. I get what you're saying, because you're directly a part of that culture. So with you not being offended by it, you don't see the issue. Your boyfriend, however, respects your culture as well, and he has reverence. He shows reverence to your culture. Him being offended by it doesn't mean he's wrong. He sees it from another perspective, and that's all it's about. It's just about perspective. But I get what you're saying. I know what you're trying to make.
And here, Randumb Thoughtz respect that man's opinion. Okay.
Yeah, but hold on, Ramos, how you know, man? You speaking for this man like you know him, like personally, like that's your man's in him.
I think I feel a kinship to him, like a soul kinship, almost like a soul bond, and I understand him, man. I never met him, but I think I feel like I strongly, soulfully connect with this man.
I like kind of like
don't get petty. Don't get petty now. Don't get petty. That's
the reason that she might be single right now.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, that's kind of like white people, man. That's like white people wearing a dashiki, bro. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, so you see what I'm saying? They casually wear a dashiki. Think about that. Like walking around like shit is with the short shorts and sandals.
I see white women with dreadlocks, B. Like that shit look crazy, B. Like that's worth the money. Like I've seen.
It's funny. Like one of my white friends brought that issue up. She asked if it was okay for her to wear. No, the dashiki conversation. She asked me if it was okay for her to wear dashiki, and I was like, as long as I think if you wear it respectfully, and if you buy directly from the culture that created, the dashiki, honestly, I don't necessarily see an issue with it. But I think if you just buy it from some off-brand spot, yeah, I have a problem with that. Now you're not showing the proper respect for that culture.
I don't know, man.
I don't necessarily.
You should have took that away from them and say, now you're not allowed to use this. This is mine. I'm just mucking around.
Because I know my friend means well. The fact that she even asked, her friends, her African American friends, like I get it. I understand. Like
you have to ask the question. You already know the answer, though. Right? You have to.
Sorry, Eric, man. Hold on a second. I feel what you're saying, and I get what you're saying, and she probably has a good heart. She has good intentions, all that. But then you also got to take into accountability. There are African American people, predominantly pro-black, and we know how we feel about the pro-black motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Or quote unquote pro-black motherfuckers. These motherfuckers will have a problem with it. Why? Yeah. Because they feel that you're culture vultures. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you jumping on our culture. Oh shit, here we go. White person wearing dashiki. We can't have nothing to ourselves. Stay black. Like, my man, like, yo, chill out, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is,
Tiffany, they're not really white Africans. They are
Afrikaans.
Afrikaans
with a K. Watch the K.
They are not Africans. They are.
And let me tell you something.
And I'm at 10 toes down. They are not Africans.
That's word to mommy,
they are
son.
Appropriating the culture once again.
And let me tell you something, you woke motherfuckers, man. Y'all still sleeping. But that's another conversation for another time, man. Because I want to get on you woke motherfuckers. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Quote unquote woke. Fuck out of here.
Speaking of white folks appropriating things, someone mentioned like white rappers in hip hop. That is that is a very, very fine line. I don't think all the white rappers are appropriating the culture.
Okay. What this new guy?
Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. They are appropriating the culture. I just think not all of them do it in a disrespectful manner. I think.
Let me tell you something.
What is that new guy? The new guy with the curly hair. That's really big.
About that nigga. Like, yo,
talking about Jack Harlow.
I mean, I do give a fuck about her.
Yeah. So now, if somebody, I can see how someone have an issue with that. But what about, because people give Eminem, say, yo, you good with us, but someone might say Jack Harlow, yo, what the fuck you doing? And why are you trying to take our woman too? Why are you trying to? Because he has his way of talking like a playboy, talking to ladies, and he tries to direct it specifically to a specific, race of women. So like,
I would put him in the exception as well.
You put him in the
because I think
as a black woman. Okay.
I think
wait. What?
He's doing is I think he's trying. He's not like a Vanilla Ice or Snow.
It's not. You don't know that yet. Snow? Hold on.
People big up this day.
Yellow Wolf is dope, and I put Yellow Wolf in the exception box. He is not someone that's trying to disrespect culture.
I'm not a fan of Yellow Wolf, but I respect what you're saying. Okay.
Hold on. As like the only MC in this panel. Well, no, me and Notes are the only MCs right now on this panel. As speaking for myself and even Notes on this motherfucking panel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm speaking for you right now, Notes. Just hold on. No. Speaking, my nigga. Anyway, like, yo, hip hop. My personal opinion about hip hop is supposed to unify. You know what I'm saying? What does that mean? Hip hop is supposed to unify all cultures. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was designed for. At least that's what I heard from, Kool Herc and African Bambaataa. And I don't even want to mention that man's name no more, man. And y'all already know why. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like from the forefathers of hip hop, they still respected as such, even though as human beings, that's another story. But it's supposed to unify all cultures. So at first, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I saw Eminem, I thought he was a dope lyricist. You know what I'm saying? But you talk about how you wanted to kill your moms and do all type of shit. You got your chick in the back of a car. You about to cut her head off and sit in the car and do all this other stupid suicidal bullshit that you say in your raps. Like, we don't feel that, like, because we don't be going through that shit. Like, but I had to take into consideration one thing as a thinking rapper. I had to take into consideration one thing. Like, hip hop is there to unify, man. We there to unify, even though we're in a competition, we're still kind of together because hip hop is supposed to unify different cultures. You know what I'm saying? Different races of people. You know what I'm saying? Black, white, Chinese, Latino, like, Asian, whoever. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And
I'm going to counter that.
Wait, I'm going to counter that too.
Well, I'm not done yet.
I have counters as well.
I want to counter that.
No, y'all just cut me off.
You just said we're waiting for your finish.
You're waiting for your
finish.
Cool. We thought you were finished, but apparently you are not. Proceed.
No, I wasn't. Like yo, listen.
Proceed.
We hip hop is a culture that's supposed to unify. Yes, it was created by black people, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? We can clearly see that shit. But like
black and Latinos.
It was African Americans and Latinos. You know what I'm saying? Latinos.
Don't forget that component. Don't forget those folks.
What?
I said, don't forget those.
Don't forget that La raza.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. If you Latina, you still black. Fuck it, black. You know what I'm saying? It was created. We accept you, motherfuckers. We know y'all niggas.
Go off.
Like,
But yeah,
but for real. No. I'm just saying. Just hear me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it was here to unify. Like yo, we accept all races or whatever, and whatever bullshit they talking about, we can't sit there and say we're not unifying if we don't accept the bullshit. Like you know what I'm saying? To an extent, you know what I mean? Because you do have culture vultures. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to tell who's a culture vulture from the people who are really about the culture itself. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really hard to tell the difference in the two. So sometimes with some black MCs or whatever, I know Lord Jamar, like he wasn't really too keen on Eminem or any of these white rappers. He like, you know what, white rappers, yo, y'all guests in our home. You know what I'm saying? And at first I was rocking with him on that, but once again, this is supposed to be a culture for everybody. It's supposed to unify everybody. This is a culture, right? That's supposed to unify it. Like you have white people, you have Latinas, Asian people that grew up in this culture.
Okay.
Go ahead, Steph.
Because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to count. She about to say some fuck shit.
No, yes.
She about to say some fuck shit.
Somebody mute lyrics. Mike
Brendan Barrett in the words of Eminem. So here we go.
Whatever.
You talking about unifying the culture? Yes. There are different perspectives of unifying. Eminem wanted to unify in grief. It's just like the song that came out, "Don't Push Me because I'm close to the edge. I'm not trying to lose
the
my
message."
head." Like the message, yes. That was a song
message.
about that was a cautionary tale. He was talking about the environment that he grew up in. It's the same with Eminem. He's talking about the environment that he grew up in that made him the person that he is today. And there are a lot of people that can relate to that kind of upbringing. Unification doesn't necessarily have to be looked in a way where it's positive, like on the nose. Unification can be looked at in a seemingly negative way, but it's like, look where I came from. I came from this hardship. I came from this rough upbringing, and it made me it made me this person that I am today, where I can stand before you and say, I came from this grief. I came out of these tribulations and bad circumstances, and I became a different person out of those circumstances. That is still unifying people, and he's using hip hop in that way to unify people. And you see, when you listen to his music and you hear the evolution and growth, he stops talking about his mom. In fact, he has a song where he apologizes to his mother because he was like, you had your own issues, and I understand them now. So now I'm apologizing to you because I am recognizing your grief and your pain as well. And if you listen to his last couple of albums, he does not talk about his mother at all. One bit. He actually pays homage to the pioneers that came before him. And he was doing that before even Lord Jamar was even commenting on it.
No,
and don't even get me started on Lord Jamar, because he was talking about
Eminem
in the hood. No, and I grew up. I lived in New York, and I lived in.
We went to know, and then you can go back to that. You can go back to that.
Eminem like every other freaking day. So
okay,
no. Lord Jamar, I'm speaking directly to you as a person that actually lived in the hood for the last 5 or 6 years. they were bumping Eminem like every other day. Every car that I passed, I heard an Eminem track coming out of it.
Okay,
so don't even get me started. So anyway, we gotta do final thoughts in a minute.
Go ahead.
No. We're gonna get the final thoughts, but we're gonna get back to that ass in a second because let me tell you something. Let me fucking tell you something. Notes got some shit to say. Go ahead, Notes.
Go ahead, Notes.
All right. So I'm gonna spin off of what you said, lyrics. Like I agree with you. I do. But at the same time as well too, like product of the environment. Okay, like the unified situation. Okay, like so Eminem. Well, I know for me, Eminem taught me how to use how to try to turn my pain into drive. You know, into my own fuel for me doing music. Now, me and my mom, our relationship is now getting a lot better. But I understand. You know, how Eminem came off crazy and stuff like that. You know, these are his thoughts and stuff like that. I wouldn't go so far as saying like I wanted to hurt my mom, but at the same time, you know, I didn't want shit to do with her. You know, especially how the way I was raised and the shit that I've been through. Like everybody has their own struggle, and also as well too. If you look at like hip hop the way it was, well, even still now, like I don't really see no unifying anymore because like you got to have jewels and chains and stuff like that just to even fit in. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's no real lyrics anymore, and I feel like a lot of people who do spit real lyrics, who are trying to bring it together, they don't, you know, they get pushed to the side. So
for whack nigga shit.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think Kendrick Lamar has the platform right now for
once again, whack nigga shit.
He's not whack. You just don't understand it.
No,
I don't understand it. I'm a hater.
Exactly. There you go. You haven't listened to his music. You need to listen to his morality.
No, we're gonna do that shit today. We're not gonna speak on it. But that's the music I do listen to. I listen to KRS-One. I listen to Coach Contra. Coach Contra is the dopest motherfuckers you gonna get out today.
Shout out to Coach Contra.
You have not listened.
I want to say two things. Two things before we're done. Horrorcore, RZA, and and that's it. So actually, Horrorcore predates Eminem. Yes. So he didn't create that shit. That whole kind of violent shit.
We talk about 3-6 Mafia.
Yeah, 3-6 Mafia.
3-6 Mafia.
Can we talk about those people?
Can we talk about
No, let's talk about Fred the Godson. R.I.P. Fred the Godson.
Also, can we
R.I.P. Fred the Godson? Tiffany said it.
What else?
Fred the Godson. Let's talk about Fred the Godson. Let's talk about 38 Special. Let's talk about Betty the Butcher. Let's talk about Griselda.
Okay, we're talking about now. We're talking about before. We're talking about before. We're talking about how there's a lineage to this already. Hardcore has a lineage. We're talking about what's his name? Scarface. Scarface has a heavy thing into that. What was Scarface's group? I can't remember the name of the. No, Scarface had a group.
Ghetto Boys.
Ghetto Boys. My thoughts playing tricks on me. That's horrorcore, my dude. Like that is like an example predating all this shit. So to say that Eminem is like bullshit. You could say that it's bullshit, but it has elements of things that already predated. Secondly, shout out to Run the Jewels, LP and Killer Mike. Unification, right there. We see something beautiful right there. A white man and a black man you never thought would do something like that, and it works completely. So that's it.
Word. So can we get?
Yo, it's time for final thoughts, y'all. It's time for final thoughts. Yo, me and Steph, man. Yo, Steph, you stupid. I ain't fucking with you, man. Like, yo, Steph.
Everyone,
you got any final thoughts, man?
Well,
let's talk about foreign exchange. But
I just got into the conversation. It was like cultural appropriation. I still think white people shouldn't wear dashikis. That's just me all day. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I just got in the conversation because like it went from clothing to hip hop. So now it's like, yeah, I think we need to come back. I think we need to make a segment about hip hop. I think we need to make a a segment about that. That's
I think cultural appropriation and hip hop.
I'm gonna throw that in.
Yeah, I honestly think next Sunday he should do that. Yeah, that's
doing next week. We're doing soul music.
No, we're not doing that next Sunday.
Soul
music. No, we're not. We're doing
cuisine.
No, next week we're doing exotic cuisines.
Yeah. Oh, the week after we're doing soul. Yeah, after week we're doing.
Yeah, we got to be doing soul music.
That those are my final thoughts.
So next week is for the fat fuckers. You know what I'm saying, man? It's fat fucker week next week. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to be fat to enjoy cultural cuisines, but
for real.
Well, you know what? You dig in the fat fucker. Like, fuck out of here. So it's fat fuckers week. Like I said, we talking about food, all type of shit. Hey, yo, Rainbows, final thoughts, man.
Final thoughts. Yeah, all cultural appropriation. So, I guess you gotta do what you're gonna do, right? You're gonna do what you're gonna do. Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
What the hell?
Drop my cup.
All right.
Only your random thoughts. Only your random thoughts.
Hey, we drop phones and we drop iPads and random thoughts. That's
we drop webcams too.
Yeah, that's fact. We dropped a whole bunch of shit in this bitch.
Who dropped the webcam?
I did. I dropped my webcam at one point.
Yeah, I remember that shit. That shit was crazy.
It was episode 2, I think. Of this season. I dropped my webcam. But
shit.
Ramos, that was your final thought, or
yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
When we come back next week, I'm gonna have my hair cut. My ass looking like the Prince of all Saiyans, Vegeta right now. So yeah, my shit looking wild right now.
Okay, man, take a picture. We're gonna make you like a Photoshop. We're making you Vegeta, and you look fucking awesome, man. Then you can put that on your album cover.
Shout out to Otakon right now. That's happening in DC.
Shout.
I wish I could be there. I miss Otakon. That was a wonderful experience.
Otakon. Yeah, shout out to Otakon and shit, man. I wish I could be there.
Shout out to Substantial. Shout out to Shu. Shu is there now too.
Shout out to Luminous, Substantial. Yeah, that's the family. Like, shout out to the whole family. Shout out to the Plague. Like, wherever you guys are.
That's Ninth Wonder. Next, I sent Steph something that in DMB that's gonna be a live concert series.
August 19th. Yep. I got it locked.
So
what happened on 19th?
Oh, Ninth Wonder and who's the other DJ?
I can't remember. DJ.
Yeah. I forgot the other DJ, but Ninth Wonder. That's all you need to know.
No, I'm good on Ninth Wonder, B. I keep that. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. I understand where you. Okay.
And you know why? So
what happened? Wait. No, we gotta finish.
No, I'm gonna tell you later, man. I'm telling you,
we'll talk about
that.
I get what you're saying.
Talk about later.
So yeah, I'm gonna continue the fuckery. Shout out to Third Base. Shout out to Cunning Linguist. Shout out to who else? Like I said, Foreign Exchange, Run the Jewels. All the folks that are white that have been a part of groups or done it on their own that have done hip hop the service that it deserves. Because let me be honest, without Third Base, without Third Base. Now I'm gonna make this point very clear. Without
half of lyrics, not lyrics, half of Logic. Half of Logic, shout out to him.
Half of Logic. No, but let me make this point. Without Third Base, and it's a big point. Without Third Base, without MC Search,
no gas face.
There would not be a gas face. There would not be MF Doom, because that was the very first track.
MF, yeah.
He was under his old moniker. So shout out to them. I think, again, I'm gonna stand by it. I believe cultural appropriation can be done in a positive light. It can be done in a way where it does service and pays homage and reference to the culture that created whatever they're representing. And there are a lot of negative examples out here. However, all I say is, if you're going to take on a culture, if you're going to live in that culture and immerse yourself in that culture, you need to do it in a respectful, tasteful way where it translates and the culture, the original culture, and the people that represent it understand your purpose, understand your intent, and give you the respect. So that's all I'm saying. If you're gonna appropriate a culture, do it positively. That's my final thought.
Thank you very much, Steph. I'll leave you guys with my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap it up. I'll be honest with you, man. Cultural appropriation, from my understanding, because I just started to understand this shit today. Like, I'll be honest with you, before the show, I looked it up and did a little, fast research on it. And it can either go good or bad, depending on the circumstances which thereof. Depending on how you look at it, depending on how it affects you. For the most part, we live in a super sensitive society where if you even think to say like nigger to the wrong people, then you're gonna get criticized for it. You can be black, you can't even say yo, what up, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So with cultural appropriation, like I said, you have people look at shit the wrong way all the time. You know what I'm saying? With this society, with the super sensitiveness of shit. Guess what? Man up, woman up, grow a fucking backbone, and realize there's gonna be some people that don't give a fuck about your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna do what they're gonna do anyway. If a motherfucker, listen, if a white person sits there and wear dashiki, I mean, I can say a million things about it, but they still gonna wear that damn dashiki. You know what I'm saying? If an Indian person want a taco, I can say a million things about it, but they're gonna fuck that taco up because they wanted it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only thing we can do with cultural appropriation, whether you like it or not, is respect the fact that it exists. It determines on where you want to take it. That's the realest shit I could say. Now, I know it's gonna be some people who probably look at the playback or hear whatever, like, yo, lyrics, what are you talking about? How could you? How could I have my ass? Like, yo, this is the reality part of it, and I'm gonna give you the real. Cultural appropriation's here. It's here to stay. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't affect you in a big way, if it's not disrespecting your whole entire race, back the fuck off. Let them people live. You know what I'm saying? And that's worth the money. You know what I'm saying? Let them live. You know what I mean? Like Redemption Song 76 said, respect the taco. That's it. Respect the motherfucking taco.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I might go to Taco Bell in a little bit and get some tacos, man. Like, even though they ain't real tacos.
Benny, I get what you're saying about the cultural appropriation done by Beyonce. However,
we calling out Beyonce. Fuck that.
Beyonce puts a positive spin on the cultural appropriation. What is the messaging? What is the messaging?
What are we talking specifically? I don't know what you're talking about specifically.
We can talk about
put no positive spin on that shit. Fuck out of here, man.
Yes, she has. Yes, she has.
You know what? No. Hold on. Steph, I'm gonna send you a video, right? I can't explain it, but I'm gonna send you a video I was just looking at, all right, on YouTube here, that will explain why I said what I said. I can't get too much into it because I'm not trying to get us kicked off before we really get momentum for this shit. But I will send you the video, and I'll let the video speak for itself. You want to sit there and talk that Beyonce's positive bullshit? Like, yo, Beehive, don't come for me because I have my personal opinions about Beyonce. Shout out to Beyonce, you know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to JP and them niggas. But like, I'm just saying, like, yo, hey, shit, it is what it is. But look, we're gonna wrap this shit up. And that's the wrap for this particular episode.
Yeah.
I like to say I like Beyonce. I think, you know what I mean? I don't want to go against the queen or the king. So I'm gonna say, like, I'm Switzerland in this regard. But send me the video.
Now I'm gonna send you the video. I'm gonna send you the video, son. Like, Benny, like, yo, I'm gonna send you the video too. You know what I'm saying? On the gram and shit. Like, I'm gonna send y'all the video, man. Like, yo, for real, son. Like, you know what I mean? But anyway, getting off the subject, we're wrapping this up. the next episode of Random Thoughts will be episode 3-7. Exotic foods. I think, what is it, like explaining exotic foods or some shit like that? Like,
yes, we're gonna talk about our favorite cultural foods, and I guess this is
more likely
cultural appropriation.
I think Steph is hosting this one, right? Steph, you hosting that exotic foods?
That was your idea.
All right, cool. So yeah, so I'm hosting that exotic foods one because it's Fat Fuck Week next week. So
Restaurant week. We
are celebrating all the fat fucks across the world. Fat Fuck Week. Fat fuckers, this is for you. Especially that 500-pound chick that almost broke my hip. Talk about she want to ride and shit, man. But I'll tell y'all a story next week.
That's your fault.
Fuck it.
That is your fault.
your butt.
No, it was a 500-pound chick that I dated when I was like 21 or some shit like that. Yeah. But I'm gonna save that story for next week, my nigga. Like, it's gonna be a funny ass story, my nigga.
Probably wipe her ass.
They gonna love you for.
No, you're not gonna answer. Okay.
So, for notes, Eric Famos Ramos and Stephanie Gill, this is your homeboy, the LYR to the ICS lyrics, signing off, y'all. See y'all next week. All right?
Peace.
Peace.